Hello everyone and welcome back to Piano Teaching Tips with Hannah. So today I'm not sitting by a piano because I thought I would talk more about the business side of running your own small piano studio. So what am I going to talk about? I'm mainly going to talk about marketing and getting more students basically, or getting your first students. So depending on where you are on your journey with your piano studio, this video will be really helpful. So these are tips that I've used over the years and things that have really worked for me to grow my studio to where it is today. So better get on with the tips. Okay, firstly, having a piano studio in 2023 requires you to have a website. So if you think to anything that you might buy, so online you might buy a service even, you might want to have a massage, or you want ballet lessons, or you want to buy a particular product like this jumper, you'll look to a website first. And if the website is rubbish or the browser is slow, you will not be using them and you'll go on to find someone else. So if you don't have a presence online at all, then you kind of don't really exist. So I would make sure that you have a website. Now, don't worry, you don't have to code your own. I have no idea how to do that, but there's some great website builders out there, and I've used Wix.com for my one, but I know Squarespace is another one. I'm sure there's loads of others too if you just type it into Google. Also with Wix.com, it's quite cost effective as well. It's not a huge monthly fee to keep your website up and running. Now, with your website, what should you have up there? Well, I think you should have a bio, a photo of you, but only a paragraph or so explaining your background and what you offer as a piano teacher. And I would have a few testimonials on there as well, because that's mainly what people will be interested in. And if you don't have any piano students yet and you're starting out, don't worry, you can be quite creative with this. You can give your mum or a friend a free piano class and ask them very kindly if they'll provide you with a testimonial, so you can put that up there from their lesson. With your website as well, you can just use the IP address that they will give you, but, and this is a big but, it's going to have a lot of numbers and letters in that is not going to be easy to tell other people about your website, and it won't be easy online to search either. So that's the other thing. So it's my second tip, I guess, is to buy your own domain name. You can keep that for at least a year or many years. Now, when you're picking a domain name, I would try not to be really clever and quirky and pick something that you think, wow, that's a great pun. I would have your location in there and the fact that you are a piano teacher. So my domain name is the Beckenham Piano Teacher, and that's because I live in an area called Beckenham and I am a piano teacher. So make yourself really easy to search and quite specific, so you'll get the right segment looking for you. The next tip is advertising. So I have done, and believe it or not, this has worked amazingly for me, but I've done the majority of my advertising using Gumtree. And I'm not talking about spending loads of money to have my ad at the top of a list for months on end. I've just put up an ad every once in a while, so it starts at the top, and then as more ads come up there, yours just goes down, 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 but it still stays on the site. So that has worked tremendously well for me, so that's something that I recommend. Another thing is Facebook advertising, because you can really target a specific audience. So again, you're thinking more about that segment, and you can target young families with children or older people looking to do new activities, I guess. Now, Instagram and Twitter and TikTok haven't really worked for me for my business, but there is no harm in trying them, because again, the more advertising you can do, you're getting yourself out there. Statistically, you should get more people coming to your site. And it's also good fun. So you can still do that, and it's cheap. So you don't have to spend anything at all, in fact. Right, so the next tip for me will be flyers. So I'm putting this in there, but it didn't work for me, but it will do if you've got more of a community. So I got some amazing flyers done, really professional, on moo.com, and I'm sure there's loads of other sites too, but I found Moo to be brilliant. And I was very excited about it because I was like, I'm going to go and put these in through people's doors and ask local libraries and newsagents to put my flyers up. But I didn't really hear back. But I think that's because I live in quite a big area and it's a suburb of London. It doesn't really have its own community vibe. So I think that if you do live in a community, it's a really good way to get new students coming to you. And the other thing is you can use those flyers as well to target a local school. If you're not allowed to actually go into the school and target there, you can sort of wait outside when parents are dropping their kids off or coming to collect them. And the other thing, and this one will get you the most students, and if you have a studio already, you'll know this, and that is word of mouth. So word of mouth pretty much gets you the majority of your students once you start off. But I do appreciate that you need to have at least one student in order to do that. So I'd use the other steps first to get that one student. And then once you've got even one, you can tell the parent that you're expanding your studio. You don't have to tell them that there's only one student. You can just say it's very exciting. You've got some slots that have opened up. And do they know anyone that would be interested in lessons, anyone at their school? And then if you're a decent teacher, which I'm sure you will be, you'll get a lot of referrals and people calling you and saying, can you teach my child? And you'll say no because I'm at capacity, but I've got this waiting list. And that's how that will work. There's other ways as well. So that's the end of the tips, but there are other things too. So if you think really creatively, and these things are just coming to me now, but you could try bringing a buddy to a lesson, maybe. So a child comes to a lesson, maybe in the summer holiday when they're not, working on particular repertoire or anything, just having a fun class. They could bring a friend along, and if their friend likes it, maybe they'll come back. Or you could do things like bring friends to watch their recitals, and give them a prize for who's brought the most friends, and make sure that the recital goes well. And again, you're going to get more people contacting you for lessons. So there you go. There are a number of tips there to help you with your piano studio. So wherever you are with your studio, to help you on your journey. And do make sure that you give a lot of time to your marketing, because you are a small business. You're a small business owner, and it's not just about teaching the piano and playing the piano, although that's very important, but the marketing side of it is key, really, because that's how you're going to make your money. You have to put in a bit of money in order to get clients out of it. So the Facebook advertising will cost you, the Wix website will cost you too. But again, like I said, they're not huge costs, and the Gumtree will cost you as well, but not huge costs, but they are important to get your piano studio up and running and off the ground. Thank you.